Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Stories of Yanko back here with another video, and we are talking about James Harden, man, and how he is a quitter still. And I've been trying to put out this video for a while because I ain't been trying to give this dude no burn, but it's become very annoying dealing with people on Twitter and how there seems to be this narrative that Kyrie was still the reason why he left when everything pointed before he was even in Brooklyn that he wanted to go to Philly, and everything pointed to while he was in Brooklyn that he wanted to go to Philly, and everything after he left Brooklyn pointed to that he wanted to be in Philly to begin with. So it's just crazy, man. If you guys recall, Tillman Fertitta did not want to trade James Harden to the Philadelphia 76ers because Daryl Morey, and he wanted to spite Daryl Morey and James Harden at the same time. So he was like, no, we're not trading you there. Then Brooklyn came with a package, and they accepted that package. Kevin Durant vouched for him with Joe Tsai and Sean Marks, and all that shit blew up in our face. I ain't gonna lie. Keep it a buck. But this idea that James Harden left Brooklyn because Kyrie wasn't vaccinated is just a fallacy. Sure, did it play a role in him being frustrated that second year and wanting out early? Sure. But people really believe that James Harden was going to stay there if Kyrie got vaccinated. He wasn't. He was always planning to go to Philly. Hell, even Ben Simmons was looking for a house out in Houston because the rumors about him being traded for James Harden were real. Until Tillman Fertitta refused to trade James Harden to the 76ers. But, it's these James Harden fans that don't want to accept the fact that he's a quitter. James Harden doesn't want to even accept the fact that he's a quitter. You've already put that stain on your name. The media just don't come for you. It's the fans that come for you. And, a lot of people are just trying to cope with, he was going to sign. He just wanted more money. Then why did he take less money in Philly for a PJ Tucker? You do stuff like that when you're trying to build a roster to win, when you actually want to be there, when you actually want to be successful. That's what championship caliber teams do. As you notice, Damian Lillard don't do that shit in Portland. So, you feel me? I'm just saying what it is. I'm keeping it a hundo. I'm not trying to cope or cap for Kyrie or KD. I'm just keeping it a buck. It's like when you're in a relationship with a woman and, you want to leave her and you just need an excuse to leave the relationship. And it's like, you going through this, you going through that. It's not you, it's me. And, I just need to give you some space. We just need some space. Just any little thing to get out of that situation, or whether if it's with a job. That's life, man. James Harden has every reason in the world to cap. James Harden has every reason to not be honest because he's trying to fight a quitter narrative. He's trying to fight that narrative that he's not a quitter. And that he just got out of two bad situations, a bad situation in Houston, a bad situation in Brooklyn. And he's in the best situation possible. If James Harden really felt that way, he would have left that shit as it is a year ago. Because people were still blaming Kyrie for the situation. But now since KD got out, Kyrie got out, see, I'm not a bad guy after all. Them niggas wanted out because the organization. You wanted out because you wanted to go to Philly. There's a big difference. They wanted to be in Brooklyn. Brooklyn just did not work out for them. You wanted to be in Philly and you want the rain chase in Brooklyn in the meantime, and it did not work out. Like, there's a big difference between that. But a lot of these people who just hate Kyrie, who want to believe whatever the media says about him, these motherfuckers are quoting ESPN articles. They don't pay any attention to what happened around the trade deadline, how James Harden was complaining about the living situation in Brooklyn, the condos, the taxes, all kinds of stuff, even the damn weather, man. The man was complaining about everything because he did not want to be there. He was never going to resign. And that's just the God honest truth. But James Harden sees how everybody is calling him a quitter, and he's this and he's that, and he's just taking his time to take shots at Kyrie, take shots at the Nets organization, all this stuff because it's like he has something to gain by putting this stuff out there. Y'all act like James Harden is just talking just because they're asking him a question. I have a suspicion that Too Raw for TV and Too Raw for Sports put out there. James Harden is in bed with the media. He is. You don't see every single time a player comes back to a team that they were disgruntled with that they ask them these questions, bruh. Time and time after again. We played the Philadelphia 76ers multiple times. But every single time we play them, he always has this quote about how he wasn't a quitter or this and that and all this other stuff. Is it relevant to some extent? Sure, but it's been past due. It's been a year. It's been a year. Why are y'all still asking him these questions unless you're trying to paint a certain narrative towards a certain group or a certain player that you want to be continued on? Kyrie is no longer a Brooklyn Net. So why are y'all asking him, was Kyrie not being vaccinated, this or that or this and that? The dude was going to leave for Philly anyway. As much as you delusional fans want to believe that Harden wanted to stay, do you see how happy he is in Philly? Do you see all the festivities that he gets into when he's around Meek Mill and Lil Baby and all this other stuff? Do you see all the stuff that he gets into in Philly that he did not get into in Brooklyn? The man obviously wanted to be in Philly, and you guys keep lying to yourselves that he was going to stay in Brooklyn. He was not going to stay. Talking about the organization chose Kyrie over James Harden. No, James Harden chose Philly over Brooklyn. It was about the location. It was never about the money. It was never about getting a max extension. It was never about that. It was simply about him being where he wanted to be. James Harden ain't hurting for no damn money. It was simply about him being wherever he wanted to be. And that's what it's about with a lot of players. That's the reason why players don't go to fucking Toronto. It's about the location. It's about the location, man. He wanted to be in Philly or Houston. And since Houston didn't work out, he wanted to be in Philly. They even had rumors about him going back to Houston. They ain't had rumors about him coming back to Brooklyn. Kyrie's been traded. You would think there'd be, maybe he'll come back to Brooklyn since he wanted to be here so damn bad, right? I highly doubt any rumors about James Harden over the next couple of years will ever circulate about him coming back to Brooklyn because Kyrie is no longer here. KD is no longer here. So if he really want to be in Brooklyn, come on back, James Harden. You on a short deal contract. Request a trade back to Brooklyn. It's not going to happen because he didn't want to be here. So, you guys are delusional. Y'all want to believe something that just isn't true. Did Kyrie play a role in James Harden wanting to leave that season? Yes. Yes, he was rain chasing for that season until he could get to Philly. And he wanted out early since he saw shit wasn't going to plan. But is Kyrie the reason why James Harden wanted out of Brooklyn in totality, the entirety, that he wanted to just completely go to a different team? No. He wanted out. He was bumping heads with KD, with Steve Nash. He wasn't getting his way. He didn't like the living accommodations there in Brooklyn. He came into camp out of shape. He didn't sign the extension because he had no plans of coming back to Brooklyn long term. That is the truth, man. Accept it. Peace.